Welcome to another pick a card reading. As mentioned in the title, this one covers what your life purpose is going to be in this time. So I just want to give you a little breakdown on like what this reading is going to encompass. So by life purpose, we are going to first talk about who you are as a person, how you are as a person, what are your interests, what are your skills, what are your hobbies, what are your passions, and if any of those things like aid in enhancing or aid you in your life purpose, aid you in what you're meant to do, what you're meant to bring to this planet. Also, I wanted to clarify that for some of you, this life purpose could also indicate like not just for yourself but also how it helps and benefits other people. It may not come out in all the readings, but in few of them it may come out like that. Like, maybe you were born to motivate people, maybe you were born to inspire people in a certain way, maybe your adversities were meant to like help others deal with those adversities in a better way, in a more equipped way. So, your life purpose, although it is meant for you, it may not be limited to only serving you in that sense. So, anyway, that is what this reading is gonna cover. Now, we'll just move on to your pile selection. So, as always, we have 4 piles. I have 4 piles for you to choose from. This is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. If you want to choose by piles, then take your time. If you want to choose by these shapes that I have put, then the first one is this transparent Christmas tree. The second one is this inky purple butterfly with this iridescent light when you like move it in this angle. The third one is this sun, this beige brown sun. If you can see it, there's a face. And the last one is this green lush leaf. So as always, take as long as you like to choose your pile. Once you've selected, timestamps will be provided in the description in correspondence to the pile or shape you have selected. Once you decide on the shape, you can click on the timestamp and it will take you directly to that segment of the reading about your pile. So once you have decided, as per always, I will see you in pile 1. Hi, so if you guys chose the first stone or the first shape, this transparent Christmas tree, then this is going to be your reading. Let me just put that there. Okay, yep, okay. This is divided into 2 parts. So the first part, we're going to just talk about your current energies, get a gist of like who you are as a person and how you are as a person. And then we're going to get into more detail when it comes to what your purpose is in life, and how like your purpose has in a way shaped the person you are today, or just the reason you are how you are is because it's like it's pushing you in the direction of your purpose. So we're going to just get a better idea of that once we get a look at your card. So first card we have is sensitivity. Straight off, I can say that you guys have a lot of sensitivity, as this card says. Sorry, I'm just not very articulate today. But basically, I get the feeling that you're somebody who has a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy, somebody who understands things beyond the surface level, and somebody who knows and loves to love very wholly and truly. Because of the rose, I feel like it's like, for example, sometimes you meet somebody and like this person comes from a very fancy family, or like they've had a good life and they've had everything smooth sailing or whatever, and then you are like in the middle of like these problems, and it's like maybe people of like that level socioeconomic status or something will not understand or be able to relate to what you're going through, but somebody who has as much sensitivity as you do, despite your upbringing or your status or anything, you still understand, like you can connect on a deeper level. You know, somebody who understands, somebody who has that sensitivity towards other beings. Somebody who can look beyond, and somebody who knows and believes in love. Because of the rose, it makes me think that, you know, you like being in the presence of love, or you like being like not just love as in romantic love, but like, you know, being with your family, you know, doing loving things together. And like with the Christmas tree especially, it reminds me of family, because like whenever I think of Christmas, I think about family, like, you know, mom and dad and kids and dogs sitting under Christmas tree on Christmas morning, opening their presents, baking pie, eating cake, you know, decorating the tree together and stuff. So it's like these simple things, or just being in the presence and company of love makes you very happy. That's what I'm getting from this card. Coming to the numbers, number 1 is the number of new beginnings or taking a step. So that also makes me think of like somebody who takes the first step. Like supposing, like I said, the example of being in the presence of love. Like if you love being with family, you will take the first step of like making a plan and calling people over and having the family dinner and stuff. You know, instead of people calling you up and saying, oh, hey, let's hang out, you don't mind taking the first step. But it could also in general be in life. You know, that's just a lame example. And 6 is the number of balance, unconditional love, reciprocity. So yeah, basically that's what I see with this card. We're gonna get a better idea looking at your tarot cards. So in terms of tarot, we have the Empress, we have the Three of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have Queen of Cups. Why has it become so dark? Let me just adjust the light there. Just give me a minute. Okay, this is the best I can do for now. Let me see if I can do something. Oh God, only making it worse, I think. Okay, this is the best I can do for right now. I'll fix it in a bit, but right now I just want to finish doing the reading because lots of messages are coming to me and I don't want to forget. So with the Cups energy, like I said before, a lot of emotion, a lot of understanding, a lot of compassion, a lot of feelings. You know, somebody who is highly sensitive, but not in that very clingy, crying all the time kind of way, but somebody who can connect on a deeper level, sensitive. Somebody who can understand other people's problems, even if you have yourself not experienced it. Also with the Empress and Queen of Cups, I'm getting a very nurturing energy. Somebody who loves to do for other people, somebody who loves to, like, you know, take care of others, somebody who's very motherly, somebody who's very maternal. From all the queens in the tarot, the Queen of Cups is, I think, the most maternal of all queens. She's somebody who loves to like take care, somebody who listens to everybody, is very respectful, but ultimately does things from her own intuition. And even the Empress, a very intuitive being, but also somebody who is like dazzles the world with her gestures, does everything big and fancy, you know, and she's somebody people look up to a lot. Also because of like the amount of like female cards I'm getting here, I feel like maybe the people who clicked on pile 1 may be women more than men, or like, you know, associate with that gender more than other people. So yeah, anyway, sorry about that awkward bit, but moving on, the Empress is somebody who is fertile, somebody who represents growth and expansion and doing things in a very fancy and generous way. So even the Queen of Cups, like very generous. But basically what I'm getting from this is that, like I said before, you love being in the presence of love, like especially with Three of Cups, like, you know, with a community, with people who share similar sensibilities, people who are like-minded, and like especially in this case, like, you know, not just be like an party animal and you love just being around people all the time. No, it's like you're more selective of the type of people you're being with. So it's like if I had to like pick a profession looking at this, I could say that okay, hey, you're somebody who likes to put together a solid team where people can complement each other, or people share similar ideas, or like share similar mindsets or similar way of thinking. Not like in the sense that everybody thinks about the same thing and in the same way, but people who can be on the same page at the same time. And because of that, like, you all can ideate and create something and have this spark and have this creativity and have this passion together. So even people who share similar passions. So for example, like I said before, not a party animal, because it's not like you want to hang out and mix up with like everybody. But like in this case, it's like, you know how sometimes there are these people who like uh, bring like-minded people together for an event or something, like where people can network and stuff, because they know that, hey, these are people of similar mindsets and similar interests and similar passions, and they can come together and do something together. That's the kind of person you are. So like if you were working for a company and you had to put together a team to create this product, what you would do is you would find Sheila from like marketing, and you would know that she can use her marketing skill set to like market the product. Then you will find Bob from graphic design, and he would like come up with the design of that product because he's very good. And then you would find Vijit from engineering or something, and he would come up with the technical stuff. And then it's like, you would handpick and select the type of people you want, and make that team together and celebrate together and celebrate each other's victories and milestones and happinesses and stuff. And like somebody who's like-minded, and like in this case, like be happy for their victories, be sad when you all fail together, kind of a thing. Like this is where you can really feel unburdened, rather than like be with people who you're not too happy with. So like you're the kind of person who is to a certain extent open and fun loving and outgoing, but at the same time very warm, very generous, very loving, very maternal, but also very selective of the type of people you interact with. Also with the Ace of Wands, I feel like you're somebody who has like a passion, or like this spark, or this need to act upon things, not like just sit back and enjoy. Also with the number one, the I gave you that example that you will pick up the phone and call people over for dinner and stuff. So that's the kind of feeling I'm getting from this reading. Did the lights just blink? I think they did. So yeah, anyway, looking at zodiac signs, we have like the Empress is Libra and Taurus energy, and with the two cups I see a lot of water energy. So that is Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio, if those zodiac signs of any relevance. Also, I wanted to point out that we have double threes, because the Empress is 3 and even the Three of Cups is 3, and 3 is the number of growth and expansion. Yeah, and like going from 2 to 3. So I just have to say that this may not be like, the person you are may not apply completely when it comes to your career. This could also be like, you're just somebody who likes being around people of like similar mindsets, or like being around people who you love and stuff. So like, I know this is a very lame example, but like in every family, there is that one person who puts their career on the back burner and pays attention to family. So like maybe they don't have the best business or the best job, but they are the people, that's the person everybody comes to with their problems. That's the person who brings everybody together. That's the person whose house everybody comes to hang out. So it could also be like that. But definitely somebody who has a lot of sensibility, a lot of compassion. And I think it's because of this quality of yours, of like having this compassion and these sensibilities, that you end up creating communities, or like surrounding yourself, or having people surround you who understand that. You know, it's not like they may be like the most popular girl and all in like school or whatever, but she may not be as sensitive as you. So even though she's popular and she's pretty, like she doesn't have the kind of friendships or community that you end up creating, because you relate to people on a deeper level and that's what they like about you. Hence, like, you know, you have this ability to create communities where you go. I think you're somebody who makes friends also pretty easily, and somebody who's very interesting to be around, especially with the Ace of Wands. So yeah, that is what we got from like who you are as a person and what your current energies are. And now we'll have a look at like how it impacts your purpose. So we're just going to take a couple of these cards to see like how you help the world, if that's how I should say it. So we have Truth with 12. So that's also another 3, if I might point that out. And we have Reunion of Souls with number 7. So with Truth and 12, 12 also is like 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So I feel like you're somebody who loves to expand. You know, you're like somebody who brings people together. Instead of going from 2, you go to 3. Maybe you're somebody who loves family as well. Like for you, family is very important, like growing your family and stuff. But also you're somebody around whom people feel very optimistic and people feel like, you know, anything is possible. Because that's the kind of vibe you give out. Anyway, so coming to Truth. With this, I feel like you're not somebody who minces words. You're somebody who is honest. Like you have an immense sense of honesty, and it's not like what you say, it's how you say it. So if like you have to, like somebody comes to you with their problems or something, you know, it's like you will say it for what it is. If they have gone wrong somewhere, you will probably just mention it to them that, hey, this is on you. This is on you. This is something you have caused. But it's not exactly like, oh, hey, is the light better? I think it is. So it's like, I don't know why I can't explain this well enough, but basically it's like you will be honest about people or about their situation or anything, but the way you say it is very gentle and very nice, and you're somebody who believes in like the truth and honesty. So somebody, if I had to say your purpose, it's like, you know, guide people through truthfulness, like go after the truth. Not mince words, not make up things, not manipulate or anything, just but be honest and win them over with your honesty and with following the truth. I also feel like many of you, like this could also mean like unearthing the truth of like somebody else's business. So like supposing you are a counselor or something and somebody's had a memory loss, or like somebody's dealing with something really traumatic. It's like you help them uncover the truth, what triggered that, what makes them think that, and like give it to them with this sense of clarity once it comes up. But somebody who's like very truthful, very honest, and I feel very genuine. And because of the bird, I feel like the things that's coming into my mind is that the truth will free you. Um, I think it was a dialogue spoken in Ted Lasso. Yes, when he was refusing to do therapy with that lady, but she says that don't be afraid of the truth because the truth will set you free, and I think that's what like you're doing here. Coming to the Reunion of Souls, number 7 is a very sacred number. We have like 7 days of the week, we have 7 wonders, and 7 is also a very intuitive number. And that goes with like the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is somebody who's very intuitive. So like I said before, I think a lot of like how you go about in life, your guiding light is your intuition. I think many of you guys are very much in tune with your intuition. But Union of Souls, so like I said, bringing like-minded people together. So I feel like you're somebody who I know this is a little far-fetched, but like in these get-togethers you create, or like this in like building these communities, I think you're helping people find their soul family, and in the process I think even you're finding your soul family, but like helping people unite with people they truly bond with. So like I said before, like-minded people, people who share similar sensibilities, similar passions, similar ways of thinking, similar ideas, similar understanding of life. And it's like helping people or unite with their soulmates. That's like what I'm getting from like this so far. And I see both of them are like birds. So like here we have like this eagle, I think, and here we have like this crow, but both are birds. So I'm getting the feeling like even though you're uniting people, in a way you're setting them free. You're allowing them to take flight. So I feel like definitely you're somebody who helps out in a very unconditional way. So like helping other people find the right people to help them start off with their careers or something, or like helping them find good partners to help take their business off or something. But it's like once they come to you and you understand their situation, it's like the advice or what you do for them really helps them take flight, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, so I tried to make the lighting better. I hope it is better. Anyway, so now moving on, we'll take a look at your purpose, what you're meant to do in this life. So this is going to talk about a general understanding, and then we have these oracle cards that is going to give us further details like certain milestones or certain qualities that you may possess that may help others. So we have the devil, we have temperance, we have the six of swords, and we have 10 of pentacles. Just give me a minute to adjust this. I don't know why suddenly it's like, oh, okay, there we go. That's the best I could do. So coming to your cards, I can see that you're somebody who actually helps others get to a better space in their life. Like literally the way the sequence of these cards and the way things are playing out, it reads like a storybook. So the devil is the energy of the devil is the kind of energy where people feel restricted, where people feel like they are in this cycle that they can't get out. In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, if you see the devil is like this goat man person with these horns, and he has like these people chained to him by their neck, so like you're held there. The devil also deals with like addictions and holding you down and like not allowing you to like move on from a certain mindset or a certain space or a certain circumstance. The devil is very controlling, and the devil can be an extremely scary card in that sense. But the thing is, after the devil we have temperance, and she is somebody who is refining herself. She's somebody who is like doing the work, getting better at her job. And if you see the devil, like that is somebody who's chained down and there's no movement, and it talks about addictions and problems. Whereas the temperance, and like she has these wings, so it's like not only do you help people come out of this, but you enable them to take flight. And that is a recurring theme we've seen here. Like both these things are like birds. If you can go to see, both these are like birds. So we talked about like taking flight or helping people take flight, and now here we have like temperance who's got these wings. So I definitely feel like your skill set or your purpose lies in freeing people and helping them go to a better space in their life, hone what they're good at and enable them and help them use that to like move towards a better life. Because we got like the six of swords next, And that is basically passage to a better phase of your life, passage to a better part of your life. So it's like moving to a better place than where you were before, rowing away. And the thing about the swords, it's like a mental thing. You know, if you think you're going to get to a better space, you end up getting to a better space. So I feel like because of like how maternal you are, how much sensitivity you have, I feel like definitely many of you guys may be considering psychology or be counselors or just be the kind of people that people can open up to easily. And even the advice or the solutions you provide actually helps them to get into a better space in their life. So you're definitely somebody who's like a problem solver, but not like just in the way of like physically solving problems, but mentally equipping people to like get to a better space. You know, showing them what's good in them, helping them find their calling, you know, especially with Temperance, because you see how careful she is with this and how she's balancing it in this very neat way. So helping people find their balance, helping people find their footing, and encouraging them to use that to get to better space in their life, because like it started with the devil and it's ended with the 10 of Pentacles. So it's like your progression, the progression you're offering people, and it's not like, you know, just one push, but like helping them all the way, step by step. So it's like you're somebody who's very giving, not just like of your love and affection and advice, but even your time, even like, you know, your mind space. If like you take on this person, you truly want to help them go to a better space in your life, you know, in their life, sorry. You know, that's what I'm saying here. Also with the Temperance, this is like, you know, helping people see more than what is just at the surface level. You know, helping them unearth their own qualities, helping them unearth their own traits, like helping them find their own calling, their own passion, and driving them to get better at it to a certain extent that it actually helps them go to a better place. Also, the Temperance is somebody in the traditional tarot. She has one foot in water and one foot on the ground. I don't know if you can see that here. You can't. But so that basically makes me think that, you know, like the thing about the devil, it talks about addictions, it talks about self-doubt, it talks about like running yourself down, and it talks about not being able to free yourself from that. Like when you get into that phase of like, you know, I'm not good enough and all, it takes years before you start to see your self-value, before you start to come out of it. So this, like, you are somebody who treads through this with a lot of caution, does it very systematically, some very nicely. So maybe some of you are even like doctors, like, you know, helping people with addictions or something. But I feel like a large portion of you may be like psychologists, like people come to you with their problems and you actually listen to them and make them feel better mentally, like mentally take them from one place to another place, help them grow as individuals. But also I feel like some of you could actually be like real life problem solvers. I don't know what, if there's a name of a career for that or something, but people who actually like, there's so many people, like when you have problems and you talk to friends and all, they're like, oh yeah, don't worry, we are there to help and all. But actually when you need that help, they're not around or they don't actually know what to do. But in your case, it's like when you commit to helping them, commit to like making their life better, you're all in. You know, maybe that's just how you are as a person. Maybe your career has nothing to do with it, but basically that's your purpose, to like help people get from like here to move to a better phase in their life. And the 10 of Pentacles is basically like a financial success story, you know, to build up finances, to have a good life. And not just like good life, like have a nice house and have enough money to run it, but like have the whole package, have the nice family, have the good finances to like live well, go on holidays. Oh my god, my hair is falling. Oh, anyway, go on holidays, give your children a good life, a good education, eat well, go on holidays, have the nice house, have the pet dogs, have the good education, have the holidays. I think I'm repeating, but basically have the whole package and also mentally be in a very good position. Because the Ten of Pentacles also talks about transcending, you know, like you don't realize how much that material things are just material till you don't have it. Like when you're born in poverty and stuff, your first instinct is to do well, to have like hot water, to have adequate food and stuff. But like supposing you go from like not having the nicest childhood to like becoming a millionaire, and then realizing that at the end of the day money is money, and now you want to transcend that and go to something better. Like, okay, hey, you know, I've earned well, I've lived well, I've earned enough for my family to live well, but now what? You know, so it's like to actually transcend away from all these materialistic things, but also have a very good, abundant, materialistic life, if that's what you're asking. So, helping other people achieve that, you know, putting them in the direction, offering assistance in that way. But if I have to look at this as you, I also feel like in doing so, you will also be like very good at what you're doing. Like you'll be highly acclaimed, or like you'll be at the top of the food chain in like whatever this is. And in doing so, you will not only create a lot of abundance for yourself, but a lot of happiness as well. You know, it's like it makes me think of the law of intention. When you're putting those good intentions out for other people, or just putting it out in the universe, it comes back to you 10 times. You know, and that's what I'm getting with the Ten of Pentacles. So whatever it is, it's going to be extremely fulfilling for you. Your reward is not just financial abundance, which I feel like it's going to happen, but also very fulfilling. But also with the Empress and Queen and this, I feel like maybe some of you guys are in a position of like in a high position, or like you'll have the amount of abundance or whatever, that for you doing this doesn't really involve earning money. Maybe you just like to do this to help others, you know, or maybe because you have so much money you can actually put it in helping others. So maybe like many of you guys are very philanthropic or generous in that way. And that's also the feeling I got with the Empress, because she has so much. That is how she can dazzle the world with her generosity and with her gestures and with her actions. So it's like really helping people out, helping them come out of bad situations because you have the funds to do so. And instead of squandering it on like fancy cars and big houses, you like to use it to help others live better lives. But that doesn't mean that your own life will not be great. It will be. So that is what I see for you. This is just going to give us a better idea of like certain landmarks, or like certain qualities that you help others understand and experience. So we have pleasure and we have release. So with pleasure, I can immediately see, you know, the imagery of this is like, you know, moving to the light. So helping people get away from the darkness and move towards the light, like I said, away from the devil and towards Temperance, who has wings, and take flight. And also with release, like I said, you know, release away, like, you know, break away from these addictions or these old patterns or these old cycles that have been holding people down or holding others back. That is what you're helping them get rid of. That is what you're helping people come out of, you know. And it doesn't have to be only about addictions, but even like self-doubt, or like people who are not in the best mental space or something, but like free them, you know. That's the feeling I'm getting. And with pleasure, I feel like move towards a much happier life, because the Six of Wands also talks about pleasure and happiness and moving towards a better place. And just taking on what you require, nothing more, nothing less. Like, you know, leaving back old burdens. So like making people even see a different perspective of their own life to a certain extent. Also, I forgot to mention zodiac signs. So the devil is Capricorn energy and temperance is Sagittarius energy, which is funny because like we have December and then we have January, but here it's like reversed. But this could also indicate an important window, you know. December and Jan could be important months, or like Capricorn season and Sagittarius season could be important times. Yeah. But basically, somebody who makes people happy, people who see the pleasure and break away from things that they don't ever require, to feel that freedom, to feel that upliftment, which I think makes sense because of the birds and the wings and the flight, like fly away from like things that were holding you down, to help people feel free, released from that burden that they were harboring and carrying all this time. And that is what you help them get rid of. That's what you help them, that's what you help free them from. And now with the last two cards, we have self-discipline with number 41, and then we have parenting with 63. So 41 could be an important age or something. 41, 4 plus 1 also equals to 5, which is basically the number of change. So that makes me think like, you know, you have the ability to actually change someone's whole life. You know, knowingly or unknowingly, you may have that ability to do so. I feel like many of you guys also are healers. Like, I don't know how, like not like massage somebody's back and heal them of pain, but actually help them heal old wounds, if that makes sense. But basically that, and unknowingly, so like this is a very lame example. So my dad has a friend, and my dad's friend has two children who are like around my age, maybe a little younger or something. But basically that guy, he's very involved with his children and their education, and he's more involved than even they are. And he wanted his son to go to this particular college or something, and they were discussing it with he was discussing it with my dad one day, and I was sitting in the back seat just minding my own business. And he was like, you know, it's so difficult, the entrance is so difficult, so many people are applying, how will my son go, blah blah blah. And then I remember that my mom's friend's son ended up going to like this junior college that helps train people to go to that specific college, you know. And I just happened to say that, hey, you know, there's this college which not many people know about, so the chances of your son getting in there would be much higher, and if he goes there, he gets an automatic push into that place you want him to go. So that guy was like, no, I mean, there's no place like that. If there was, I would have heard. But I said, no, I know somebody who's actually been there. So then he started to listen. He was like, are you sure? So I was like, yeah. I gave my mom's friend's number to him. He called her up right away. She confirmed what I said. And that same evening, they met up at Racecourse and discussed how he's going to get his son into that, the whole thing. And then he put his son there. And then 2 years later, son went into the college he wanted. And he never stops thanking me, because like inadvertently, I ended up just opening my mouth and saying that, hey, you know, I know somebody doing this or that, and it actually helped set his son's educational life on track or something. And he's always been very grateful to me for that. So unknowingly, even now, you may be doing things that actually help people, and maybe they don't come back to tell you so, but you don't do it in order to like have people come back and say, oh, hey, you know, you changed my life. You do it in a pretty unconditional way. So there is that. But coming more to the point of like self-discipline, I feel like you have the ability to help people be disciplined enough to like break away from these old addictive cycles and move on to something better. You know, things that maybe they couldn't do on their own, because you give them that motivation and you give them that push. And with the green star inside, I feel like this is the heart chakra. So it's like, it's not just your heart reaching out to them, but you have the ability to make them want it for themselves, you know. So that is what I see, like a lot of self-discipline, helping people get on track, do it in a very disciplined way. And then with parenting, like I said before, you know, very nurturing, maternal energy. So I feel like sometimes you can even double up becoming the parent to them that they probably didn't have growing up, or something, like being that mentor, being that person they can confide in, being that person they can come to with their issues and their problems, and you know, somebody who's actually gonna, you know, pull up their socks and actually help, you know, and be that parent or that person that they didn't have growing up. So like very mature, somebody who's very understanding. So I think that's where the sensitivity comes from, because like when you go crying to your parents, they really want to do what they can in their capacity to help you, right? And because you have so much sensitivity, people can open up to you better than they can with other people. And that's how, you know, you end up becoming like this parent figure to them, because they can do that and they open up to you. But basically with all of this, this is how you help move or help somebody, you know, get to a better place in their life, basically. That's what I see for you, pile 1. I know I was very distorted and all over the place, plus I wasted so much time with like this arrangement, but those are basically all the messages I have. Oh yes, 63, we have a lot of repeating threes. So expansion, growth. 6 again is the number of balance, and 9 is the number of near completion or completion. It's also the number of wish fulfillment. Also, because of the repeating threes, I feel like you're somebody who even, you know, gets families together. So I may be going on a limb here, but maybe you guys even are good at like matchmaking, because like with the community thing, like bringing people together, like-minded people. So maybe, you know, you may be even a facilitator in bringing like two people together, and like being like this matchmaker who like creates these unions, and then people get married and then they have families and stuff. But like I said, love being in the presence of love, growth, expansion, fertility. So if we have to like pinpoint at a career alternative, you could also be somebody who's like a matchmaker on the side or something. And like, because you're so good at it and you bring like the correct people together, they are very grateful to you for it. And it's like, it's a success story. You help put people on the right track, helping them find the correct soulmate for one another, and like making their life, basically. So yeah, those are all the messages I have for you, pile 1. I hope it made sense to you. I hope it resonated with you. I hope it gave you some clarity on like the kind of person you are and what your purpose is in this life. If it did do any of the above, please do consider giving this video a thumbs up, sharing it with those who you think it may help, commenting with what resonated, what didn't, and finally subscribing to my channel, because that would really help me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hi, so if you guys chose the second shape, or like this inky blue butterfly with these iridescent colors, this is gonna be a reading on like what your purpose is in this life. This reading is going to be divided into 2 parts. The first part is we're going to just get a general idea of like your current energies, the kind of person you are, who you are, and like how you are as a person, what you enjoy, your interests, and basically how that could be a factor in like putting you on track of your purpose, or maybe because of like what your destined purpose is, those are the qualities and traits you've adopted. So basically we'll get a better idea when we get a look at your cards. So the first one is inner voice with number 28. 28 could be an important number, maybe it could be an age, maybe it could be a date in a month. 2 is the number of partnerships, and like creativity to ideas, and 8 is the number of, I think it is the number of abundance. I also think it is the number of manifestation. No, that's 9. 8 is the number of abundance. You know, so maybe it is like getting your ideas together, and with that it is creating abundance of finding the correct partnerships. And sometimes certain businesses require partnerships in order to succeed, so maybe that is what it is. But coming back to the uh, inner voice in this card, I think this is basically indicative of the fact that you may be somebody who highly trusts your intuition, somebody who has a very strong and loud inner voice, and that is your guiding light. That is what has brought you ahead all this time in life. So somebody who has a very like, there are some people in this world who like know what they want and they have it very seamlessly planned in their mind or in their body, and it's like not because they've had like these counselors or these parents or these mentors or these guides telling them what to do and how to go about doing it, but they just intrinsically know. Inherently they know what is good for them, what is the path to take ahead, what is the first step you have to take in order to get to step number 100, like what way to go and what direction to go in. So that is what I'm getting from you, that you have a very seamless, loud and clear inner voice, and that has been your guiding light all this time, and that is what has put you on like this path. So I think many of you, if I have to come to think about it, I think many of you are very well aware of what your purpose is. So even when we go about this reading, I think most of you will just be like, I knew that. It's just a confirmation. What's new in this kind of a thing? Because I feel like you guys also will be very in sync with your inner self and your inner voice and even your higher self to that extent. I feel like many of you guys may be just very advanced beings. And that is why you're so attuned with your inner voice, with that inner intuition or that inner calling, you know. So that is what I'm getting, but we'll get a better idea of like who you are as a person, how you are as a person through your tarot card. So we have the King of Pentacles, like I said, very confident about who you are. Then we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, then we have the Two of Wands, and then we have the Ace of Cups. So okay, I'm going to just go step by step in this reading. So I feel like maybe many of you guys have had to I think many of you guys, because of your circumstances, you may have like had to cultivate this voice, or maybe it's like you came out of your past circumstances because you had such a strong voice, inner voice. I feel that maybe some of you guys have gone through a certain extent of adversity in the past with the Ten of Wands, and it's because like you heard your voice, um you followed your intuition, that you ended up becoming like the successful King of Pentacles type person. But I'm getting the feeling that you guys are not the just give me a minute to articulate what I want to say, because I'm a little confused in how I'm going to frame my sentences right now. So I see a lot of empathy, I see a lot of creativity, I see a lot of outpour of emotions, maybe even ideas, and I see this need to like this thing of putting it out in the world. And I also see success. So maybe some of you guys have actually, come a long way from where you were at this present moment, or maybe you guys are on like this road to success and you've started to see like the abundance, because the King of Pentacles is basically like a financial success story, kind of like the Ten of Pentacles, but in the King's case it's something that has required a good amount of time and something that has accumulated over a period of time, and it's brought about a good amount of financial wealth. So I feel like at this point, I think many of you guys may be in a position where you are financially secure or doing well. And this has been a result of like a culmination of all of this. I'm so sorry about these insects, but it is mosquito season. I thought it was like just gonna be in like summer or something, but I think year-round thing. But anyway, coming back to the cards. So what I'm saying here is that maybe in the past you guys have like been burdened a lot, but instead of like seeing that as like a bad thing, I think you guys have had the ability to like change that perception and make it your strength, you know. And because of that you have been able to acquire this wealth, or like motivate other people to acquire this wealth or something. But I feel like you are the kind of people who like take action and put your ideas out, because we have like a lot of fire energy, and we also have cups, which is like outflow, overflow of creative intentions, overflow of emotions and all of that. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which is like a success story. And I feel like because you put yourself out there in the world, because you shared your story, or like you did the work, you could do it. I also feel like you guys are not afraid of taking on more, or like, you know, I think you are the kind of people who embrace responsibility rather than feel daunted by it. Like, oh my god, how am I going to manage this or whatever. It's like, okay, I will make time for it, I will put it on my agenda, and I will somehow tackle it. So I feel like many of you guys like embrace responsibility. But the Ten of Wands also talks about the ending of cycles, you know, tough cycles, letting go, being not having that much burden on you, you know, letting go, letting the burdens fall away. Because the Ten of Pentacles talks about a lot of hard work, a lot of labor, you know, physically exhausting. So I feel like maybe some of you guys have had to like have had jobs or had a life where you've had to like put in a lot of physical energy or like a lot of physical effort in order to derive results. But rather than complain about your adversities or your hardships, you're somebody who likes to look optimistic, look out into the world and see what lies ahead. You know, I also feel like you guys have a lot of sensitivity in that sense. Lot of emotions, lot of empathy, a lot of compassion. But like somebody who like your hardship has not made you like hard, it's made you human, it's made you soft, it's made you understanding. And it's put you in a position where, you know, instead of just sitting on all of that, I feel like you're somebody, like when you talk about your story or something, it motivates others, you know, it inspires others. And I think that is a key role even when it comes to like your career. Because I don't know, for some reason this with the world and the two wands, it makes me think of like social media, or like having a platform where you can like look down and see the vast expanse ahead. But also like because you have the world in your palm, it's like maybe you've got like certain amount of recognition or something, or like maybe because like you've amassed this wealth, like you feel invincible. But also with the two, I feel like maybe you've balanced like more than one idea in order to achieve your success. Or if this could also mean like, you know, you are in a partnership, a very thriving and successful partnership, a partnership where, you know, your sensibilities are shared, and you don't have to like explain something to the other person, like you guys are on the same page kind of a thing. I know I'm kind of going all over the place with this, but the thing is, these cards are very unique in the way it's come. Unlike pile 1 where it read like a story, here it feels like a lot of different things put together, and yet somehow it's like it makes one thing, but also it has its own individual meaning to it. But basically, the King of Pentacles is somebody who's very well set in life, somebody who's amassed and acquired a lot, and this is somebody who can like give advice and mentor and like tell other people. You know, you're set not just for your life but even for generations. So naturally, people look up to you for it. You know, and this makes me think of like your initial days where you were putting your things, putting your stuff out there, working hard at it, and now after all that work you've come here. So it's like, for example, like let's just take social media for example. Supposing you want to become popular on Instagram. When you started out you had like 100 subscribers, but you had this conviction in you, and you had this this drive to like do well. So despite having a full-time job, despite having responsibilities, you would work from whatever 9 to like 5, then you would come home, you would maybe cook some dinner, clean up your house, and from like 7 to 12 you would work on your social media. Maybe you would like click pictures, you would plan them, you would edit them, then put them, research the right hashtags, put it out there, take that effort. And I also feel with the two, it's like one thing complemented the other. So it's like because you had that job, you could sustain and you could put your time in this, and maybe because like you started to grow in social media, you could like do better at your other job, or maybe you could quit that job and do something you actually enjoy. But it this also makes me think of like partnerships. Maybe you found somebody who wanted the similar thing, so like y'all would take each other's photos, y'all would encourage each other, but basically having the world in your palm, looking forward, and knowing what you can give out there. That's what I see. So like a success story, but also very inspiring, very passionate, very driving, but also at the same time, a lot of compassion, a lot of sensibility, lot of feelings coming out of this whole thing. And I think a lot of it is driven by your own inner intuition, if I'm not mistaken. But also here we have two, and here we have two. So I feel like two is an important number when it comes to you. I feel like maybe you are good at like creating partnerships, or maybe you are a good partner, or maybe you're good at like taking two ideas and making it into one. Something I feel like there's a relevance of two somewhere. But if it occurs to me, I'll come back to it. Also, because of the wands, two of wands, I have to point out that this could mean Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energies, sun, moon, or rising, if that is important to you, or maybe those months are important to you. Okay, so now we're gonna look at these cards. Just say like how you help others in a certain way. So we have transformation, and we have masculine energy. Okay, so I have to point out, like unlike pile 1, where majority of the cards had like females in them, here we have mainly males, like king. This is also a guy, and this is also a guy, and then plus we have like masculine energy here. So I feel like many of you guys may be very attuned with your divine masculine, like how do I put it without sounding sexist myself? So it's like, for example, even today in my culture, if like a woman is career driven or something, it's like, oh hey, she's got so much masculineness about her. But it's like, I feel like for many of you guys, you're very much in touch with like your masculine side in a way that like maybe for you career is very important, or maybe it's like you've had to like take responsibility of like being the mom and the dad, or like doing things that normally men would do or something, but mostly I feel like just being very in tune with your masculine, with your divine masculine. So like this is a very dumb example, but when you live in a place like I do, which is in the middle of mountains, lots of people say that it's imperative to live with a man, or like have a man on the premise, because when incidents happen, like there's a snake in the house, or like there's something wrong with the electrical something, you have to like, normally women don't know what to do. Or like if somebody has to climb up on the tank and check it, normally men do all of that. But living here since the past 2.5 years, I think I've like thrown caution to all that nonsense. And whenever like there's a snake or a creature or a centipede, the big red one that is scary and poisonous, usually my mom just calls me and we handle it on our own. Like I do it, and like if there's a problem with the tank, I climb up. Earlier we used to have a caretaker and he used to do it, but now we don't. So now I just do it. Or like if there's an electrical something, I call up the MSCB offices and I say that, hey, this is what's happening. Can you send somebody and get it fixed? Like, just man up and do it. So I feel like maybe if you're a woman watching this, maybe you've been in that circumstance where you've had to like man up and just do it. Like be the ambitious one, be like the boss, or like be a woman in like a man's world or a man's position or something. But if you're a guy watching this, then I think that just basically being in touch with your divine masculine, and there's not that much to explain there. And coming to transformation, um, I think the butterfly kind of reminds me of this, like from being like this in a cocoon to like becoming this butterfly. I feel like you have the ability to transform not just yourself, because like you've had your own success story, but transform other people as well with your inspiration or with your creativity or something. Also with the sun and this, the world and the sun, I feel like the sun is shining on you. So I definitely feel like whatever it is you're doing it, you're getting a lot of recognition for it. And that is why I feel like maybe your thing is public. Like maybe you're a public speaker, or maybe you have like a public platform or something where you talk about your stuff and it inspires others and it helps transform their mind and their life. So like for example, how there's a Jay Shetty. He has a YouTube channel, but he inspires so many people and he's got such a fancy following that celebrities call him up for help and advice. So maybe something like that. Like you have this impact on other people. You definitely have this impact on other people, and I think that comes from a place of like genuinity and feelings. Rather than have this hard and stoic exterior, you allow them in into this mushy self of yours, talk about your passions, talk about your life, and show them how you've transformed, and that's how they get inspired in transforming themselves. But definitely I feel like with the sun is shining on you and you're getting like this recognition, and because of that you've amassed wealth, and because of that you're even being able to impact a lot of people. So if like you're on social media, I feel like maybe you have a big following or something, and whatever it is you're posting, it's very inspiring, it's very inspirational to people. Coming to the numbers, we have 16 with masculine energy and we have 22 with transformation. So 22, 2 is again the number of partnerships. So I definitely feel like partnerships is a key word in this reading. I just have to figure out how. But 2 plus 2 equals to 4, and 4 equals to stability. 4 is the number of stability, security. So like putting people in a very stable and secure space in their life. And 1 is the number of new beginnings, taking the first step. And 6 is the number of balance and harmony and unconditional love. And 1 plus 7, 1 plus 6 is 7, which is like the number of intuition. So definitely you guys have a very, very strong intuition, I have to say. And that has been your guiding light all this time. Oh yeah, so now we're gonna move on to the section of like what your purpose is. So we're gonna just start out with your tarot to get a general idea, and then we're gonna move on to the oracle cards to get more specific messages in terms of like your skills or anything you are meant to experience or help others experience basically. So we have the 6 of Cups. Oh, is it fitting? Yes, it is. We have the 2 of Wands again. We have the 3 of Swords, and we have the Chariot. Okay, so give me a minute again to articulate this, but basically from the top of my head I feel like you're somebody who motivates other people in like being able to take charge of their own life and live well and find joy and happiness. And with the Two of Wands again, and plus like this, I definitely feel like whatever it is you're doing, you're going to get a lot of um, this motivation that you're offering, or this inspiration that you're offering, is going to give you a lot of recognition. So maybe you're a motivational speaker. Maybe it's like you have a successful YouTube channel like a Jay Shetty, but also because of like the amount of like fire I see here, I feel like maybe you guys are also extremely like, creative, in the sense that maybe you guys are from like a creative field. Maybe it's like you created a TV series, or you made a movie that helped motivate and encourage a lot of people, or like help them find their peace or something. But whatever it is, I feel like it's helped a lot. And because of that, and because like there was something very authentic about the way in which you did things, which is like why you've got like this recognition or this relatability. But coming back to your purpose, with the Two of Wands and the Three of Swords and like all of these cards put together, I feel like you have this ability to help people heal from things that otherwise they would not. Like maybe you're even a musician. Like sometimes like when people are sad, they listen to Adele or something, or you find you play your favorite singer who writes songs or makes songs about heartbreak and stuff. So it's like you help inspire people move on, even if you're doing it unknowingly. Although for many of you guys, I feel like you are very much, like I said before, you guys know what you're doing. You guys have a very strong inner voice. You have a very strong guiding light within you. So you have a good idea of like what you're doing and why you're doing it. I also, like I mentioned before, you guys would already be knowing this, so this should only come like a confirmation for you. But basically it's like for example, if you created art, like when I write poetry, I don't necessarily write it in order to like inspire others. I wrote it because I love it, because writing poetry is relaxing for me. It makes me feel good, because when I was a child, that was the first thing I actually did, outside of my school homework and stuff. That was something I just did for my own self. And I've shown my poems, like I've not published anywhere, but the few people I've shown it to, a lot of people said that it inspired them, it helped them. It's really beautiful poetry, especially the one I wrote last, and I sent it to my best friend who was going through something. I only sent it to her because she's like my most honest critic, and she always gives me like very valuable feedback. But this time she told me that it moved her, and it made her feel good about life, and it helped her feel better about a certain situation. I don't want to get into the details because it's kind of personal, but basically it's like whatever has hurt you, or whatever, you have the ability to transform it into something about love, something powerful. Say it in a better way, and because you use that to heal yourself, when you put yourself out there, it helps heal lots of other people, because it comes from a place of like experience, or like it comes from like like somebody who's been through something similar. So it's easier for people to relate, and because it's easier for them to relate, they understand better, and because they relate better, it's like they promote you more, and hence you get more recognition. But you come from a place of love. You come from a place of wanting people to be healed, to feel better, to have a better life, to get away from all of that, but also see the world in a different way, see the world in a height. And see, once again, like the Two of Wands, like here we have like this guy standing securely in a balcony, putting his things out, looking at the vast world, what lies ahead. So instead of dwelling on past and dwelling on things that don't serve you, that don't make you feel better, you have the ability to show people on like how to look ahead. And also this makes me think of like you're on a certain pedestal, or like you have a certain advantage, so like you're on a platform. So that makes me think, like that gives me the feeling that you already have acquired a certain amount of success in this. Like maybe if it's a YouTube channel, maybe you're just a motivation, you're very motivating to speak to, but it's given you certain semblance of success already. And because of that, you help spread more of it. You spread love, you spread joy, you help people think about the good stuff in life, and you motivate them to like transform their own lives to become the people they need to be. And with the chariot, I get the feeling of like taking the reins in your own hands rather than dwelling on this pain and this hurt, to go in a direction of your choosing. So it's like putting people on the right track, even if it's unknown to you, but inspiring them to like move ahead, go ahead, away from this pain, away from the things that don't serve them, to the world that lies ahead, to explore possibilities, but most importantly, to live the life that they always wanted. So the thing about the chariot, it means that it's good to have a good destination in mind, but it also means that it's good to um, maintain certain level of flexibility, or maybe go on this detour, because sometimes when you decide to take this detour, or you choose to like go in a different direction on a whim, that the destination that would lead you to could be far superior to the one you already had in mind. So I feel like to a lot of extent you guys have the ability to help others, or like to make people see beyond just what they had, to open them up to what lies ahead, to the possibilities. So if I have to summarize this, basically it's like, I think, to show people what their true potential is, to help them capitalize on their pain, or like use their pain or the heartbreak to their advantage, and like help them live the life of their dreams. But to not do so forcefully, or to do it in a manner that is manipulative or anything, but to do it from a place of love, to do it from a place of passion, to do it from a place of creativity, to do it from a place where the world would admire them for it. You know, that is what I'm seeing so far over here. In terms of zodiac signs, the chariot is, by the way, Cancer. So if that is of importance to you, then yeah. But again, we have 6 over here, which makes me think of like, since 2 comes 3 times in 6, and we've had 2s. And here I see 2 children playing. So I don't know the relevance of 2s, but it's definitely there. Maybe it's like, you helping other people find their partners in like their work, or helping people find 2 ideas and somehow mix it together to create one successful one. But this is basically coming into a place of peace, coming at peace, like how these children are so happily playing with these flowers and these goblets, and it's such a beautiful sunny day. But to basically, that's the feeling they bring you into, a good feeling. And it's like this being on top makes them want you to feel invincible, like nothing is out of reach, nothing is impossible. That is what I'm getting from here. But and it's because of that feeling you can like live the life of your dreams. So I feel like even if it's unknown to you, you have a very solid impact on the way you motivate and encourage people. It's like, I don't get this often, but like this one time I wrote this blog post at the beginning of 2020, and when I wrote it, I was like, the thing is, I started to write it at 8 o'clock at night, and by the time I edited it and I shortened it and I spell checked it and I wrote it, like rewrote the intro 2 3 times and all, I was exhausted, and it was 2 in the morning. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to just publish this how it is. And by the end of it, I didn't even know if I liked it myself, but I wanted to be consistent that time, so I just published it. And then over the next few days, the few people who read it send it to other people, and then everybody who read it gave me the feedback that it was very inspirational and motivational and all. And I didn't even realize it, maybe because I was so tired or whatever. So in your case, it's like it's a similar thing. You don't probably go out intending to inspire people. You just want to be honest and take examples from your own hardships and pains, but inevit whatever the word is, it ends up inspiring other people, you know, inevitably. Yeah, okay, so it does. And that's how like other people do that. So like after I wrote that post, my aunt called me up and said, oh hey, have you considered a career in motivational speaking or like writing speeches and all? I said sure, why not, but obviously that didn't happen. I didn't try for it, but basically that's like what I'm seeing over here. And for whatever it is, you're going to get a lot of recognition. So continue motivating people, continue inspiring people is what I have to say. And don't shy away from hurt and pain, because I feel like people don't talk enough about hurt and pain, because if people spoke about their struggles and how they came out of it, their success stories, the world would be in a different place. And that's the kind of stuff people love to listen, because so many people are stuck in so many worse situations and we don't even know about it. You know, there's this whole need to project this perfect life and all the good stuff, but in your case you're projecting the truth, your hardships or whatever, or the pains, and people actually draw inspiration from it, and that's why you're getting so much recognition, because it's coming from a place of like experience. It's not like you're fibbing this. I mean, if you were like in a soup or something, would you rather take the advice of somebody who's been in that situation and come out than somebody who's just had a normal and happy life all this time and they're just sitting to give you advice? I mean, what advice would be like more relevant to you? The person who's been through it first, right? So that's what I'm saying. Anyway, moving on, this should give us more specific things on like how you make people feel and stuff. We have purification with the sunflower, and then we also have flexibility with this tiger. Okay, so first of all, with purification and the sunflower, again we have like the sun. So I definitely feel like you guys have like this public thing, like maybe you guys have already got certain amount of recognition, but the sun is shining on you. If you've not got it yet, then you're on your way to getting it. If you're considering starting a channel, then I can tell you it's gonna be successful. If you're considering doing something on social media, that could be successful. But coming back to the word purification, like I said, you know, people don't like to talk about their shit because it makes them appear like, oh hey, you know, maybe this person is damaged, or like people don't talk about this stuff because of like shame or society or whatever. But you make it feel like going through what you did actually makes you a more purer and a more authentic human being than you're pretending to be something you're not. You know, there's something very pure and honest and organic about the way you do things or how you do it. You know, your brand or your method of inspiring is very different than, I guess, what other people would do. There's something very pure and authentic about it. And coming to flexibility, I think this just adds on to what we said before, like opening people to the idea of what is possible instead of sticking to a very traditional or a very specific way of thinking, to change people's perceptions, you know, to make people more flexible, more susceptible to like change and opportunity and moving forward in life. That's what I see with flexibility. So even though it is good to have a good destination in mind, it is also very important to maintain flexibility, because you don't know when an opportunity may come, what turning you may meet somebody who ends up transforming or changing your life. So I feel like you enable people to like be more flexible, to be more open, especially those who didn't used to be so open before or used to be more close-minded before. And now for the last two cards of this reading, this should just tell us any specific milestones or any specific hallmarks about your purpose in this life. So we have leadership with number 81, and we have adventure with 55. And I love how adventure, flexibility, and the chariot has come together, because this makes me think of, like, you know, life's adventure. Like I said at the beginning, instead of looking at your stuff in like a value and self-pity kind of a way, you're helping people take their life on as like a new adventure of like what is possible, what lies ahead kind of a thing, you know. And 5 is a number of change, and here we have 55. So like encouraging people to enjoy change, to embrace this adventure that is life, rather than, you know, feel sorry for themselves or like stay in one place and not be able to move ahead, like to take on what is ahead. Like the other day I was boo-hooing to my friend about something, and then she, who has been through something similar, just said that, bro, you can either spend your whole life feeling sorry or like feeling bad about this, or you can just be like, this is nothing new that is happening to you or to me. This is something that has been happening to a lot of people. So you have to just suck it up and like move on, you know, live your life, find your happiness, find your footing, embrace this adventure. Because after every adventure you end up learning something. After every adventure there is like an end, there is a conclusion, and usually an adventure leads you to grow into the person you need to be. And I feel like by encouraging people to take on this adventure of life, you're changing their life, you're transforming them, especially with like 55, which is like an angel number, which means change is inevitable. To be able to take on change head on rather than fear it, you know. And we coming to leadership with number 81. 81, 8 is again the number of abundance, and 1 is the number of new beginnings. We have that number somewhere else, did we? Oh, where did we have it? Or was it in like another pile? Maybe. But basically, abundance and new beginnings. So new starts, new adventures. Encouraging people, see, it's going to be different for everybody else, but encouraging people to accept and take on whatever phase in their life they are in, whether it is a new start, whether it is a new adventure, whether it is being stuck deep in their shit but seeing it from a new perspective. And with leadership, I feel like I said before, you're already pretty established or high up in like this, in the food chain, because like of the King of Pentacles. So already established yourself or acquired so certain amount of success. So I feel like, and also because I said your brand of motivating, sorry, and encouraging is different from other people. So it's like you are like the pioneer or like the leader in this. You know, people look up to you for this. Like Jay Shetty, for example, I don't think he works for anybody or like he has to go and report to anybody or like I feel like lots of people tried to become him after he came along. So in that sense, like you're the leader in it. People look up to you, people follow you. Like the way people follow him, like the way people follow his advice. You know, and also because of the word follow, it just confirms like maybe you guys have a lot of followers on social media, and like you motivate them or drive them into this place of like motivation and enthusiasm, and encourage them to like live the life of their dreams or become the best versions of themselves, or just see their existing circumstance in like new perspective. But basically I feel like by just doing your own thing and putting it out there and doing it so authentically, you're inspiring a lot of people. even if it's unknown to you. And because of like you're inspiring others, you got this recognition, and because you got this recognition and you realized that it's actually having this impact on the world, you do more of it, and that's how it has this domino effect. And that's how you're becoming more popular, and because you're becoming more popular, you're acquiring also more wealth, and because you're acquiring more wealth, you're even be able to like put more into your business or in whatever this is, and it's like becoming more and more successful. And also it's becoming more fulfilling, it's also inspiring more people, so it's like spreading, if you understand what I'm saying. But basically those are all the messages I have for you, pile number 2. I hope it made sense to you, even though I was all over the place for this one. I hope it gave you some clarity on your purpose. I hope it made you feel good. I hope it gave you some semblance of reassurance. And if it did do any of the above, please do consider giving this video a big thumbs up, sharing it with those who you think it may help, commenting with what resonated, what didn't, and finally subscribing to my channel, because that would really help me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hi, so if you guys chose the third stone or the third shape, the sun, yeah, this is the right side up, then this is gonna be your reading. Hopefully I've adjusted the lighting and stuff, and the card should be better. So as always, this reading is going to be divided into 2 parts. First we're going to find out like who you are as a person, how you are as a person, and then we're going to your current energies and all of that, and your skills or your interests, and then we're going to trickle down into your purpose. So let's just begin. So we have you are the universe with number 29. This is very powerful energy. Also, the numbers 2 and 9. 2 means partnerships, or like using two polarizing things to make one thing. And 9 means completion or near completion. It also means wish fulfillment to a certain extent. So I have to say that you guys, in case you don't know it, you are much more potent, or you have much more power or ability than you give yourself credit for. You know, you are the universe is a very powerful feeling I'm getting. It's like maybe you're more connected to the divine than you believe you are. Also, maybe a number of you could be master manifestors. I was going to say manipulators by mistake, but I meant to say manifestors. Like maybe not the big picture things, or maybe even the big picture things, but like especially the small things you guys wanted or you dreamt of, and the way it's played out. I think it's like your manifestations are coming true. Also, it gives me the feeling that presently where you are or what you're doing or just how you're existing, you're much more in alignment with the universe than you know, or maybe you're coming into that alignment. I also getting the feeling that many of you guys are very self-aware of yourselves, like your good qualities, your bad qualities, your light side, your dark side, or your shadow self, and you're not ashamed of it or embarrassed of it. I think many of you guys have, embraced it, or like you're very attuned to who you are, like you know who you are, and because you know who you are, you're like with one with the universe. Because I'm getting very powerful energy. I also feel like besides being very spiritually connected, maybe you guys have developed a very good mindset, or like you all are very mentally strong. Because this is like really potent and powerful energy that I'm seeing here. You are the universe. And oh yeah, the funny thing is you guys chose the sun, and the sun is like at the center of our solar system, and the planets orbit the sun, and you are the universe. So it's maybe your masculine side, like the sun is always considered the sun and the moon is considered the daughter, or like your divine masculine would be very very powerful. maybe you're somebody who takes on a lot of responsibility, or like when responsibility is put on you, instead of feeling daunted, you guys embrace it. Like, and I also feel like y'all feel a lot of responsibility, maybe even towards things that are not your responsibility, but you'll feel it. But like the sun, stone, and you are the universe, I feel like a lot of things are revolving around you, or like are more in alignment with you than you believe. So if supposing you have uh, made a manifest, like you're trying to manifest something, and it's like a little bit bigger than your normal manifestations. Like you're maybe manifesting a dream job or a dream move to like a country of your dreams or something. Maybe you don't see it, maybe it's like not visible to you just yet, but it's like the universe is quietly shifting things in the background, moving things around to accommodate this manifestation of yours. So things are revolving more around you than you give yourself credit for. So if your manifestation has not come true, you know then it's like, it's not that, it doesn't mean it's not going to come true yet. The bigger things take time. But maybe if you like sit, like take a moment and you just sit and you look at what's around you and how things are panning out, or how things are quietly playing out, you'll be able to see how much the universe and the world is actually working in your favor. I think a lot of you guys are aware of that. You guys are very self-aware of that. But in case you're not, then I would just suggest sit back and see how things are actually revolving around you, to work for you. And that may give you that little shift in your perspective that maybe you're looking for. Also, 29 to me seems like an important date, or even an age. Like maybe at 29 you will achieve this state of mind, or like a manifestation, or like come in alignment. So I don't know, like I think many of my viewers are between like 24 to 29 and then 30s to something. I don't know for sure, but if you are in that range, then 29 could be an important date. Could be an important age, but also a date. So anyway, moving on to your tarot cards, this should give us a better idea of like who you are as a person. So we have the High Priestess. Yeah, I guess makes sense. The Emperor, two major arcanas. The Nine of Cups and the Five of Swords. Okay, so just give me a minute to like articulate what this is telling me. So, big picture, overall picture, what I'm getting from this is that you're somebody who probably has not had the easiest time before, but now the place or position you are in, you're kind of settled in yourself, or like you're happy in your skin. That's the best way I can say it right now. Like maybe like as a kid, like for example, you were a very anxious kid and you aspired to be somebody who was like stable or strong, or like somebody who didn't take stress that easily, or somebody who just had a very calming and a peaceful mindset. Like, instead of feeling scared about the shit that's happening, I will just like deal with it, and maybe like that's something you aspired for, but now you are that person. And it's not come easy to you, it's come with a lot of hard work, effort, and endurance. But that's the thing about the High Priestess. She is not somebody who puts up with much nonsense, but she's also somebody who doesn't like expect her problems to be solved externally. She's somebody who goes inwards and finds answers to her questions from within, unlocks her own questions and tries to find the answers. Like, she knows the key lies within her. So somebody that goes very much within themselves in order to find the answers. And she's also somebody who's a very evolved being, which is in tandem with you are the universe. Okay, and the High Priestess also makes me think of somebody who values themselves pretty highly. Like, I wouldn't say it's pride, because it's not. It's just that after someone has been through what they've been and they've come out of it, you do deserve to think a little highly of yourself, that yes, you know, I have endured, and yes, I am a strong human being. I am stronger than the regular Joe or whatever who's had an easy or normal life. So that's what I'm saying. And the fact that you have this endurance and you've been through a lot and you are so self-aware and you know your value, gives me the feeling that you also have a little bit of a higher standard. And I'm not saying like you're somebody who looks down upon others or somebody who's snobbish, but it's like once you come to know your value of something, you don't want to settle for something that's below that, right? Like, for example, supposing you go into a pawn shop, you know, and you see this beautiful vase or something, and maybe the shopkeeper doesn't know its value, but then, you know, you happen to research on it or something, you quickly take a picture when they're not looking, and you could do Google Lens, and you actually come to know that this vase is actually an 18th century vase, Renaissance, I don't know, I mean, and you come to know that actually it's a real true antique or something that's like ended up in this shop or a flea market. And once you learn of its value, you're like, you know, I have to acquire it. And maybe you didn't buy it before because the shopkeeper was like, oh hey, you know, it's $200 or whatever, and that's like a little steep for you. But now that you know its value, and he still doesn't know it, but he just thought it's pretty and he played on your desperation of wanting it, now you don't mind paying that price, or like you don't want to haggle so much to make it less because you know its true value, and once it's yours, then it's like nobody can do anything about it. Then you can list it for $20K if you want or whatever. So that's like what's happening here. And it's not come to you easy at all. This has not come to you easy at all, because the Five of Swords is somebody who's dealt with a lot of conflict, somebody who's dealt with a lot of mental and emotional conflict, somebody who's been victimized, somebody who's also been somebody who victimizes others. So like you've been bullied but also been a bully at times, and maybe sometimes you still are, but it's like you're learning to work around that and bypass conflicts that don't serve you, or like bypass situations that don't have much bearing on you and are just waste of your time and energy. But that's what I'm seeing here. So this value you have upon yourself is not something that has happened overnight. It's taken time, it's taken hard work, and it's taken a shitload of endurance on your part. And that's how you've achieved it. Coming to the Emperor is somebody who's got a very stable energy, somebody who has their bearings right, somebody who other people can rely on well, somebody who thinks of the future. And the thing about the Emperor is the word wise, wisdom comes to my mind a lot. You know, somebody, and the thing about being wise and having wisdom comes when you've been through something, you know. Some people, yes, are born wise and lucky for them, or maybe they're just very perceptive and they pick up things even from other people's experiences. So by all means, that could be you, but I feel like in your case, your wisdom has come from personal past experiences, and that's what I see through the Emperor. The Emperor is also somebody who is very like, the Emperor, I think, reminds me of stability, calmness, somebody who's equipped to handle problems but in a very calm and happy and normal way. And the Emperor is somebody who thinks a lot about the future, and they are not somebody who, like, if like the fact that they're the Emperor doesn't mean like they squander their wealth on like gold thrones and a gold bathtub and stuff. Yes, they do like to live well, but the thing about the Emperor is whatever they make, it's like they think long term about the future, you know, and that's what they direct or channel their money or finances or energy into. So like, for example, supposing you want to start a YouTube channel and you're currently living with your parents and you have a full-time job, okay, and you want to start this YouTube channel really badly, but the thing is, living with your parents, yes, you get to save on rent, but you get constant disturbances all the time, all the time. So now you can't shoot your YouTube videos on weekends, because like you start shooting your video, your mom comes into the room, she starts talking, you have to pause the video, you have to reshoot it or whatever. So it's like, it's very difficult. So what you do is you do your full-time job, then you come home, you take a little bit of a break, and then you shoot your videos at night when everybody is asleep and it's calm and it's good, and you start putting your videos out there, and then slowly over time, you get the visibility and the recognition and the subscribers, you get monetized, slowly you're making money off YouTube. So instead of spending it on like a brand new camera, or like just buying the basic equipment, but saving each of those pennies, you start saving, you start saving, you start saving. Ultimately, you have enough to get your own place. So you move out of your parents, and now you can shoot your videos at the time you want, because you don't have those disturbances. And because you've saved so much, you can put a deposit down for like this new place for a good 2 years or a good 1 year without having to worry about rent. So that's what the emperor does. Like what they earn, they plow it back and make a solid foundation for future development. And that is what you're doing. That is the feeling I'm getting. Like somebody who thinks a lot about the future, who thinks about creating a very stable platform. And that's why, because like I see so much determination, or so much this urge, or this need, this urgency to have a sense of stability, makes me think that maybe growing up, or maybe in your past job, or maybe in a past relationship or something, you didn't have that, and hence it's very important for you to acquire it now. Not just mentally, but even like maybe financially, maybe in terms of your career, maybe in terms of like your family, but basically the bearings of your life, and you want that stability. And that's the kind of person you are. And because like both these are at high levels, I feel like you have achieved it, or you're on the road to achieving it. Like maybe in your career, or in your marriage, or in your relationships or something, you are on that level. Because both these are major arcanas, and they are at like higher levels. Also, in terms of zodiac signs, the high priestess is Virgo, and the emperor is Aries. In case those are important signs for you, like in case you are one of those signs, sun, moon, or rising, or even those months could be relevant, or maybe people in your life with those signs could be relevant. Moving on to the Nine of Cups. This is the card of like wish fulfillment, wish granting. So also, yes, I forgot to mention, this combination makes me think like maybe you're not somebody who's like very outgoing in that sense. Like maybe you are a little bit reserved, or maybe you value your self time above meeting lots of people. Like it's not like you don't like being with people, it's just that you like being with yourself a little bit more. Also, you're not somebody who like broadcasts your problems to the world. You like to go inwards and like find your own solutions and deal with your own stuff on your own. Maybe you talk to a mentor, or maybe you talk to like few people who you trust and you feel will help, but I don't think you're somebody who's like very outgoing as such. Now, the Nine of Cups is somebody who does like to have fun, and somebody who is a master manifester, and that goes with the you are the universe, because the Nine of Cups is like, yes, the genie has heard your wish, and it's in the process of being granted. So I also feel like many of you guys are in like in this phase where you've been trying to manifest something, and it's like you're on your way to like watching it being fulfilled. So like, yes, your wish has been heard, and it's on its way to be granted. Also with this, I feel like because you have like you acquired this really good mental stability, and even like in a certain way like in your life or your home stability, I feel like maybe you're like, and plus like you are the universe, so I feel like you're in a good mind frame at this point currently. Like you're optimistic, or you believe that things are going to happen. or things are working out, and because you're believing it, that's what you're putting out, and it's fueling your manifestation more. So it's like this cycle, because you've like come in this good mindset and you believe everything is possible and you're putting it out, it's actually becoming possible for you. Yeah. Oh my god, it's still pretty dark, isn't it? Let me see if I can make it lighter. Oh god, no. Why is this happening with me? Okay. So anyway, that is what I have for this. And now the last card, this basically means like, bypassing conflict, trying not to... See, I know you have a lot of value and you understand your true value and what you bring to the planet and stuff, but I have to advise that sometimes it goes a little bit to your head, and that's when there are clashes and conflicts, and that's when sometimes you can be the person who's like bullying somebody else. I also feel like, because this is swords, you have a lot of internal conflict with these things. Like maybe you feel riled up very easily, or like you feel like someone has cheated you very easily, or like supposing something unfair has happened, you get mad about it really easily, and you're like, I want to make that person pay. I want them to hurt. I want to take revenge. But then there's also this part of you that's like, why should I give more energy to that shit? Why should I do more of that when there's so much more better, when I'm above all of this, when there's so much more better use of my time and my mind and all of that? But I feel like it still happens. So maybe like you're in the process of finding alternative ways to calm that part of you down, like maybe meditation, but like learn to like walk away from conflicts. Like if you feel like it's boiling down to that, instead of waiting for it to go to that stage only, you take a step back and say, hey, I know this conversation is not leading to a good place, so I'm just gonna step aside from this because I don't want to be here when it goes to that. But yeah, this is like a part of you that you probably will need to calm down, and maybe you're even in the process of doing it. But basically that's what I see. I also feel like sometimes you are in a habit of thinking like what I'm thinking is always the right thing, but maybe in the past it has been, but it's important to maintain an open mind and listen to other people's opinions. Maybe you don't have to follow it or inculcate it, but it's good to listen to it and then do what your intuition says. But yeah, that's what I get of like who you are at this point in your life. And now we are just going to look at these two more tarot cards, these oracle cards, to get a better idea of like your gifts or like what is happening into your life. So we have perception with number 9. And we have integration with 33. So a lot of 9s here. See, we have like 9 of cups, we have like 2 and 9, and we have 9 here. So 9 could be an important number. So with the perception card, I'm getting the feeling that one of the main things in your life is that maybe you're learning to find a new perception or a shift in your perception, or see things for what it truly is. And with integration, I think this basically goes very well with the High Priestess. Instead of like when we have a shadow side and then we have a light side, instead of like suppressing the shadow side or like putting it on the side and saying that, hey, this is not good, or these habits or these thoughts are not good, like you're learning to embrace it and integrate who you are as a person, the good and the bad. And that is basically what the High Priestess is, and that is what I think this card is saying, to like just integrate yourself completely. And we also have number 33. 3 is the number of growth and expansion. Like from 2 you go to 3. So maybe for some of you that could mean like starting a family, like having a baby or having a pet or something, but expanding. In case you are career driven, or you're just asking about your career, then this could mean like expanding your business or something. But like, in complete integration, like you're becoming very wholesome as a person instead of, you know um having this dichotomy within you, like my good part and my bad part. For some of you, this could also mean like, instead of being ashamed of your past or something, now you're embracing it or you're accepting it and you're being more open about it. Like, in case, like for example, I read the book The Glass Castle like many years ago, before the movie also come out. And Janet Wallace, the writer who grew up in abject poverty, used to be very ashamed of her past. She used to be ashamed when she would see her parents on the road, being homeless and stuff, while she lived in the Upper West Side of New York in a high rise and stuff. But then one day, and like in college and stuff, she would keep her background a mystery and stuff. But then one day she decided that I don't want to run from my past or be ashamed of like where I came from. And that's why she wrote the book, right? It also became a movie if you want to check it out. So this is like integrating who you are as a person. And I think that is one of your main goals. Like, I know we're still going to have to look at your tarot cards, but I feel like this is going to be this is an important milestone when it comes to your purpose. Also, I think perception, rather than being like a milestone unto itself, I feel like this is something that would accentuate this. Change your perception on life or your situation, rather than, only look at things from one point of view. Like I said in the beginning, because the solar system revolves around the sun. In case you don't see it just yet, take time off, take a step back, but like see how things are actually working in your favor. Try and look at the good side of things. So once your perception shifts, you'll be able to like accept your wholeness completely. Accept the good and the bad and make yourself whole so completely and so seamlessly. At least that's what I'm getting so far. But let's look at your tarot cards to get a better idea. So we have the Five of Cups. We have Five of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Magician. And we have Six of Swords. This I think has come at least once in all the readings. I'm going to just shift this so like everything fits in the frame. So, this is a new spread I'm trying and maybe I'm failing, but I just want everything to fit so you can see everything clearly. Yeah, I think it's fit now. Except there's a lot of light on like the High Priestess, but we know what that card is, right? So it's okay. So basically, according to me, this is like playing out like a story. If you see it, so basically the Five of Cups is basically the card of regret, crying over spilt milk, crying over the fact that you lost something, or like maybe you lost opportunities or something. And like how this person is crying because these cups or goblets are like fallen, but there are two upright ones behind him, but he's not seeing that. And it's like the feeling of being addicted or staying stuck onto one feeling or like one person or your past or something, instead of like looking up, crossing over and going to a whole new level, or like just looking back and seeing what is still there in store for you. So like I said, maybe you guys didn't have the best childhood. Maybe you guys didn't get to go on those trips that your friends did. Or maybe growing up you didn't have the same experiences they have. But instead of regretting it and feeling sorry, it is to just move on, and put in the hard work. Because the Eight of Pentacles basically means working really hard, putting all that effort, putting all that blood, sweat and effort, because the payoff is worth it. The reward for this effort is worth it. So, and this is a very grounded energy, something that makes you feel very reassured, something that is more something that you can touch and feel. So definitely the rewards would be good. And the thing is, because we have the magician always makes me think of like using things that are at your disposal. So like for example, when I was a little sick few years back and I had to go through treatment and stuff, what I really wanted to do is at that time I had just finished reading Eat Pray Love, and more than anything I just wanted to uproot myself and go on this world tour to find my optimism again. But I didn't have the funds, I didn't have health on my side, and to be honest, I was like in my teens, so it was not the most advisable thing for me to do. So I was like, okay, so now I can't go on this world tour, but I still need to find my optimism. I still need to find my happiness, my zest. What am I gonna do? So instead of like hoping and seeking pleasure from like these external out of reach things like going to Italy or Bali or whatever, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna try and find my joy and my optimism in the little things that are around me. Instead of like looking far and wide, I'm gonna try and find it from what's with me. I'm gonna try and use what's at my disposal to feel happy. So I would come to the mountains more often. I would spend more time in nature. I started my blog. I started to write. I started to read more. Um, I saved up money and I decided to change the way I dressed. I started to get people to compliment me when I was the way I dressed. So I used what was available to me in order to like make this spectacular, magical thing. And here I feel like it's a combination of like using what's available to you, putting in that effort, and like moving on to this better phase of your life, because the Six of Swords is basically passage to a better phase of your life. And honestly, to be honest, I feel like with this pile you guys already would be knowing this because of the High Priestess and the Emperor. Like you've already achieved like maximum of this. And also with the Nine of Cups, like supposing you guys have like this dream mindset to be in or something, you're at 90%. So I feel like a lot of you guys have already started the process and you're in it. And I feel your purpose in life is to like get over this regret and to move on and see what's beautiful and what lies ahead, and to see like you don't need like external things to create magic. You are the magician. The power lies in your hands, and also the fact that you are the universe and you guys are why do I keep on saying manipulators? You guys are master manifestors. So it's like you have the ability to like make things happen and magic happen, more than the other ordinary person. And yes, it's taken a lot of hard work and effort, but with you it's possible. And the thing about the magician is, he's like a showman. He's like somebody who gets a lot of admiration, and he puts up these shows for other people. So a lot of like, I also feel like with the magician, the emperor and high priestess, this could very well also mean that you are on a certain level already. Like maybe like I told you, like I gave you that lame YouTube example, but you've created a very solid platform and foundation for yourself, and now you're on it, and from that foundation you're inspiring other people to get over their crap and like move on in life and do better for themselves. Like you're putting up this show and you're inspiring or you're awing other people. Like they look at you and they're like, oh my god, that is so spectacular. Oh my god, that person is a magician. How did he or she do it? So like that's the feeling I'm getting. Also the magician is Aries energy, so if that's an important zodiac sign, we have two Aries, even the emperor is Aries. So I feel like Aries could be an important zodiac sign for those of you watching. Maybe you are Aries somewhere in your birth chart, maybe somebody close to you is Aries, or maybe Aries season is an important time in your life. Also with the perception card, like I said, instead of looking far and wide to see like how how much the universe is favoring you, it's to like look at like what you have with you, the things you already have, and what you have is not less. You guys are incredibly hardworking, you guys are incredibly smart. I think some of you may be also very talented. If not, then you're so smart, you can make things happen. Like maybe you're studious, maybe you're just intelligent, and that takes you a long way in your career or in your life. And you actually have so much to be thankful for, and the universe is on your side, and you know it. So it's just a little shift in your perception if you can't see it already. And I think that's your main purpose in life, is to like see the beauty or the magic that comes from within you, and to be able to use that to inspire others because of like the platform and the confidence you guys have, like not settling for something that is below your status, not settling for things that is beneath you, and to teach other people, to impart this wisdom to other people, to awe them, to make them look at you in wonder, and to make them look at you in wonder, and think about you as somebody who's so spectacular. And yes, magicians are also to a certain extent manipulators, so they do put up an act, because magic is not real in that sense, but you know um so I feel like if you put your mind to something, you can persuade people very easily. Like maybe you have a gift, like how you awe them and you woo them with your magic. You have a gift to like put up things, to put up shows. Maybe some of you guys are even like artists, like actors or something, or like something that involves being on a stage. Maybe you guys are singers, or like maybe you guys have created a YouTube channel, and that is like your rock solid platform, and you use that to like spread this, maybe talk about your life experiences. But whatever it is, to get over this regret, move on and move into much better and a more prosperous and a happier phase of your life, especially when it comes to your mind. Because the Six of Swords is, if you think you're moving into a better phase, you are moving into a better phase. That's what it basically says. And I think that is your life purpose, to be able to be so mentally strong, to be so hardworking and talented, and to be able to inspire others with this innate talent that you have, or this gift that you bear, of like this magical gift that you bear. Now we have a few more cards left. So these should just give us important milestones or landmarks about your purpose that may be helpful to you or may help you help others. So we have trust, we have security. So I'm just going to talk about this for like 2 minutes. So like I said, I am the universe. So you guys have a very strong bond with the universe. You guys are very much in alignment with the universe. And I think with trust, it basically means like you're trusting the universe very highly. To build your trust with the universe and to build this calmness. Like I told you before, like maybe you guys were very anxious as kids and it was your goal. You aspired to be this calm, trusting person, and see how calm the scenery is. There's like a crescent moon, and there's this palm tree, and there's like this sand and this water, but it's not wavy or it's not like in action, it's calm. So that's why I feel like you're achieving that, and you're being able to trust that yes, the universe has my back. I am one with the universe if I am not the universe itself. To have that trust in your confidence, to have that trust in yourself, to have trust in your mental space. And the security, which basically translates to stability. So, like, to have that sense of security and to have that stability. That's why I feel like maybe growing up or in the past somewhere, something has happened that's jolted you out of this feeling that, I am secure and I'm stable, or like have that sense of certainty in your life. some people are just always so jittery. They don't have that sense of certainty or that stability. And maybe you were one of them, but that's why having this sense of stability, having this trust on yourself has been so important to you. And security, I think, is an important landmark in your life, like something, your purpose revolves around having that sense of stability and security, especially if you guys are like intending to have families, then to have a very stable family life moving forward. And now we have synchronicity with 87, and we have patience with number 2. So 2 is up again. Maybe this makes me think of like being patient and finding the right kind of partner, because 2 reminds me of partnerships, and we also got 2 here. So maybe if you're like looking for a life partner, what this is trying to say is that patience is your key. Like maybe growing up, one of your parents was like not the most stable person. That's why like when you have to take the plunge, you want to find the right kind of person. But like the people you've met so far have not like met that criteria. So now you're being patient about finding the right person. But that's just one lame example. I just think that being patient, like this agitated, conflicting energy, patience is something that is important to you, that is something you're cultivating, and it's like one of your purposes that for good things to come, I have to be patient. It's something I feel like you would also teach like other people, because like even the magician, like they have this build up right before they do their trick. So they'll be like, oh hey, look what's inside my hat, it's empty, can everybody see it, is everybody being able to see it, what about the people at the back? So it's like people watching the show also have to exert a certain amount of patience. So but then ultimately after everybody's seen it and he's done his dramatics, he pulls out the bunny from the hat. So what has to happen, or what is to come to you, is going to happen. The magic trick is going to happen, but you have to exert a certain level of patience. And I think that applies in your life. So Pentacles is slow moving energy, Cups is slow moving energy. This is faster moving energy, but in order to come to this level, which I feel like many of you guys have already like come close to it, when you come here, it will be smooth sailing and it will happen in good time. But yeah, and also because like the work and effort you've already put in achieving or coming to this level of like endurance and patience and stability has taken a lot of time and patience and hard work on your behalf. But coming to synchronicity, 8 is the number of abundance and 7 is the number of spirituality. We have 7 days of the week, we have 7 chakras. So it's a very intuitive and spiritual number. 8 and 7 makes, what does it make? 15. It makes 15, and 1 plus 5 makes 6. And 6 is the number of synchronicity. It means balance. Unconditional love, or like a good flow of love, balance, innocence. That's why 2022 is supposed to be the year of balance. I don't know if it's come true, but basically it means that. So to have things in synchronized system, like have things moving smoothly in a proper manner. And like if you're looking for the life partner, then somebody who can give you back the same love you extend to them, or somebody you can love the same amount as they love you. Or like have things in balance, like have a balanced mind, have a balanced career, have a balanced family. But have things in synchronicity, have things in balance. Also, this makes me think like in case you see certain numbers in synchronicity, like 2 2s, since 2 has been repeating, 9 9s, it could also be an indication that your manifestation is close by. But yes, pile 3, that is all the messages I have for you. I hope it made sense to you. I hope it was clear. I hope it gave you a sense of clarity and reassurance about who you are and what your purpose in this life is. And if it did indeed do any of the above, please do consider giving this video a big thumbs up, sharing it with those who you think it may help, commenting with what resonated, what didn't, and finally subscribing to my channel, because that would really help me. and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hi, so if you guys chose the fourth and final stone or this green leaf shape, then this is going to be your reading on what your life purpose is in this lifetime. This reading is going to be divided into two parts. The first part, we're going to tackle who you are as a person, your current energies, how you are as a person, and what skills or what virtues you carry that are actually fueling your purpose, or skills or passions or interests that you've picked up that actually are linked directly to your purpose. So we're going to first try and see that, and then we're going to move on to the section that talks about your life purpose in this lifetime. So your first card is expansion with number 44. So 44 is an angel number. 4 is also the number of stability. So I feel like you're somebody who does things very diligently. Somebody who doesn't do things in a sense of haste. Somebody who does things very systematically and in a very stable way. And with the word expansion, I feel like supposing you're looking to grow your business, you'll never do it in haste, or you'll never do it because like, oh hey, it's been 2 years and we should roll out these new things. Even though the market is not prepared for it or something, you guys would do it in a very systematic, prudent, strategic, planned way where you would get the best result. But I feel like you guys are the kind of people who go after growth, but in a very positive and in a very systematic way, even if it takes a bit of time. Yes, because for you stability and certainty is more important than anything else. And also for some of you this is like a loud message that is coming to me, but I feel like with 44 stability and expansion, I feel like you guys are the kind of people who put a lot of importance on like having a very stable family life. Because when I look at expansion, yes, it comes to me in terms of business and career and growth and like, exploring new territories and expanding your business. But when I think of expansion, I also think of like expanding your family, expanding your circle. So, growth in that sense. So, and I feel like maybe you guys have been waiting a long time to do this. Like maybe for some of you, you've like, for example, if you're looking to like grow your family, you and your spouse, right now you are ready to do it because like you've achieved that sense of stability, or you want to do it once you achieve that sense of stability. But I feel like it's important to you now because maybe for some of you now this could be a very small segment of you. Maybe like you got married before and that was not the best of experiences, and so you left that marriage and now you found a new partner and with them you want to grow. And because like you want to be a family person, you want to be a mom or a dad, but you want to do it right this time. So you found the right person, but maybe maybe you guys are looking to put your finances in order before you grow, so your kid can have a good life and stuff. But like whatever went wrong in your last experience, it's like you want to be very stable and protective and like proper about it this time, especially when you grow. So if it's not a family situation and it's a business thing, maybe in the past you tried to grow before you guys were ready, maybe before your finances were in place for it. But this time you want to do it right. This time round you want to do it good. And 44 being an angel number, I have to say that whatever this is, the angels are watching over you and they are being very protective of your energy and your interests and your intentions. But somebody who loves to grow, like you're not somebody who likes to be like a one person. Like how in pile 3, I got the feeling like maybe they are okay being on their own, or maybe they like being solitary, or maybe they are reserved, or they go internally for things. But in your case, I'm getting a more outgoing, wanna be with people, wanna grow and expand yourself kind of feeling. So anyway, to get a better idea, we'll now have a look at your tarot cards. So The first one is Ten of Swords. So it kind of confirms that feeling I was having, that maybe something had to end and this is like the start of something new. Okay, we've got Ten of Cups. Also further confirms the family example I gave you. We have Five of Wands and we have Four of Swords. Okay, so we have two swords here and okay. I just need a minute to like look at this and understand it. But basically, what I'm getting as an overall message is that what you guys are going after, or the type of people you are, what you want most in life is like completion and fulfillment. You know, I don't think you're the type of people who feel happy when things are incomplete, or like when things are not proper, or like in proper categories, or like, you know, just properly done. If like you start a project, you want to see it through. So feel complete and feel an immense sense of fulfillment. And because of like the Ten of Cups, I get the feeling like family is very important to you. Family is like maybe one of your main purposes in life is to like have a good and happy family. And see, we have double tens again, so definitely your angels are watching over you. And the two tens make me think of like completion, fulfillment, you know, something that is getting completed. And with the Ten of Swords, especially since it was the first card, I get the feeling like, you know, maybe something in your past has happened and you want to finish it, like you're done with that and move on to something better. Like if it was like a bad marriage, you don't want to carry on that baggage into your new life or your new partner or your new spouse. You want that to be done. Like, you know, you don't even want to carry the aggression and the hurt you felt. Like, I'm done with that. That part of me, that part of my life is dead. Because can you see how dead and exhausted this person is? Like, they're completely on the ground. There's no resurrection from this now. There's no getting up. So it's like a complete and final end. You know, so it's like when things are done, you want them to be ending and finished. And this also means the end of a very difficult and tough cycle. Like you can actually be at peace now. Like how, like sometimes when people are going through, like for example, supposing somebody stage 4 cancer, and that person happens to be somebody close to you, yes, it hurts a lot that, you know, when they pass away, but watching them in pain, watching them go through chemo, watching them lose their hair, and at the end of it, the doctor saying that maybe this will work, maybe this will not, but you have to keep going. And sometimes it's not the cancer that kills them, it's the treatment or the pain or the endurance of the process that does. And in your case, you don't want to go through that. Like if supposing this person were to just pass away, you would be like, you know, at least they're out of that misery, they are out of that stupid horrible pain that they were in. And that, yes, you're going to miss them and this person is going, but at least that contributes to some level of peace in your mind. You know, it's like some consolation that at least they don't have to go through that harrowing and painful process where it would hurt their bones, they would lose hair, their face would look completely different, they would become skinny, they would be throwing up. So, you know, that's what I'm seeing like for you, like something completely over. But also with the tens, I feel like you're somebody who likes to have things very wholesome and finish, and somebody who sees things to start to the end. So even if that means like putting your heart and soul in it and taking all that effort, you don't mind doing it. Even if it kills you, you want to see it to the end. Like you're pretty determined in that sense. But with the Ten of Cups, this is like somebody who goes after fulfillment. You know, somebody who wants to be in a position, or maybe some of you already are in a position where you don't have a want for anything. And because of expansion and like how this family thing is, I feel like maybe for you family is like very important to have like that nice husband, the 2 kids, the fields to play in, a nice house with a backyard and all of that. And maybe like some of you will even, maybe some of you all are already on the road to achieving it, or maybe you've even achieved it to a certain extent. But yeah, to feel complete and utter fulfillment, and especially when it comes to your family life. And I feel that so because like with the Four of Swords, that's the card of like, you know, like sleeping well, being in a mental, being at peace mentally. So because you're at peace mentally, you can sleep well. You know, you don't have stress. You're like sleeping well in this tomb, and there's nothing that's bothering you. There's nothing that's keeping you awake, unlike the Nine of Swords. Like how at peace this knight is, how peacefully he's sleeping. You know, that's the kind of feeling. And sometimes people only get that feeling when they are fulfilled. Like if your desires are met or something, however small or big, you sleep well. Like for example, I know I'm going to sleep well tonight because I shot this video. I'm feeling like, okay, hey, you know, I've accomplished something. I feel like I'm not completely useless. I have achieved, I've tick marked something from my book of goals to do. And plus, after doing all this, I do feel exhausted, so I am going to sleep well. So it's like you don't mind taking the effort towards this life, or this feeling of wholesomeness or completion, or like this feeling of complete satisfaction. But like when you achieve it, you're not like exhausted and burnt out, but you're like satisfied and happy, and that's how you sleep well. Like you're mentally in a good place. But also the Four of Swords also makes me think of like, you know, a little bit of a stagnancy, or somebody who's not like overly ambitious, or somebody who's not like a very like somebody who thinks a lot, or like gets stressed that easily or something, or feels a lot of anxiety or something. You know, I feel like to a certain extent you guys are anyway simple, easygoing people. And you know, even though it may not seem like a lot, your needs are actually pretty amazing in that sense. Like maybe they are like, oh, you know, she or he just wants a happy family. Like how hard is that to get? But to be honest, to get a happy home and a happy family is pretty rare in like today's generation. But you want that, and it's like it's very pure in the intention of which you want it, you know. So that's what I'm seeing here. So like, yeah, basically just somebody who doesn't stress that easily, somebody who's doesn't like think or like have their thoughts keeping them up at night, somebody who's stress free, somebody who sleeps well, who's in a good mental space. And I feel like you're in that good mental space because whatever this shit was, it's over, or you're happy to end it, like the end of an old chapter and the start of a new one. And I'm so happy both of them are like on notes of tens, because this is like full ending, and this is like full fulfillment in your new phase. By coming to the Five of Wands, this is the card of flashing of interest, conflicts, fighting, getting angry, you know, doing stuff like that. Like how all these people are constantly at fight, at war, like hitting each other with these sticks or these wands. I feel like this is linked to your past to a certain extent. Like maybe in the past you had to deal with a lot of conflict, and I think maybe that was a big role that played in like wanting to end this, because I feel inherently and intrinsically you people are peaceful people. Like your wants and your needs are not so much, or like your expectations or your demands are not like so high flying or something. I feel like you're very easygoing, but sometimes even those simple things that you want are denied to you, or like you don't get them, or like your, or like somebody would like, maybe your past spouse would be like, oh hey, that's a very dumb thing to ask, like how do you expect me to give you that or something, even though it's such a basic thing. Like, oh hey, you know, instead of coming home and just instructing me and complaining about the food I cook, why don't you just once in a while be appreciative of me, or just give me my peace of mind? And that's not asking for a lot, but even that, when it's not heard or it's not fulfilled, it can agitate you, it can rile you. Like, it's not like I'm asking for the earth and the moon. I'm not asking for like shopping trips to Paris every other month, or I'm asking for a Rolls Royce. I'm just asking for peace of mind. And when that's not met, it's like this conflict happens. And like, I feel like maybe to a certain extent you are a little bit strong-headed, and because of that, like when people don't see your point of view, there's a clash of interests. Or maybe like the way you think is different than other people, and that could lead to a little bit conflict. But I feel like with all the cards surrounding this, I feel like this is something, it's, I wouldn't use the word suppress, but it's something you want to ease out of your system. And you know, it's like how you're putting an end to this, whatever this is, you're trying to ease this out, like, you know, be more peaceful. Because the next card we have is the Four of Swords. Somebody who sleeps peacefully is at a good place. Like, you don't want this conflict, you don't want this drama, you don't want this fight. You just want to have a happy family life with your spouse and your kids and your dog in your backyard and all of that. So it's like you're trying to ease this anger or this conflict out, you know, and you just want to have a peaceful and a harmonious and a healthy existence. That's what I just feel like. In that sense, you guys are very like, why you want what you want is very simple, because I want to feel fulfilled. How you achieve it, whether it's in your family or in your career, how you expand, how you grow, how you find that fulfillment is could vary for different people in terms of like what you're looking at, whether it's career or family. But your why, that is very simple, that is very consistent, and that is very firm. Because I want to feel fulfilled, you know, because I want that stability, because I want that certainty. So that's what I'm saying for you, pile 4. Now we are going to look at these two cards, and they should just give us a good idea of like certain interests or landmarks or something when it comes to your life purpose. So we have home with 44 again. So 44 is really a recurring number, and like the double tens and the double fours, the stability is a very important factor. And with home, stability in the house is very important to you. I think your purpose in life is to have a good family and have a good family life. And then we have forgiveness with 23. And we have like the moon and the sun. Okay, I think this is pretty straightforward. Like with home, I definitely like, especially since it's like there is expansion with 44, then there's home, and then there is the 10 of cups, the way it's positioned. And even this, like maybe it was not a past marriage or a past partner. Maybe your childhood was just not happy. Maybe the home you were brought up in your childhood was not peaceful at all. Maybe you didn't have stability, but moving forward, when you are planning to create your own home and move forward and get married, you don't want to carry that old shit. Like, you want to end that phase of your life, that cycle of your life, and move on. And that's why having stability in your home or your family, moving on, the family you create, is of very much importance to you. That is like the hallmark of your existence. Like, this is something that is very important to me, to give my children a good, happy and nurturing environment, not something I was brought up in. You know, so for you, having a good home is like of imperative importance. Like, I think more than career or ambition or money, you want to have that good home. You want to have that good family life. And with forgiveness and 23, 23 could be an important date. 2 is partnerships and 3 is expansion. So I definitely feel like for you, like relationships, marriage, partnerships, growth, family is like of importance, high importance. And with forgiveness, I feel like I have 2 interpretations. One is to forgive and let your past go. And second is this feeling or this anger or this sense of conflict you have, or like your dark side. Instead of like suppressing it and putting it under the carpet and thinking of it as a bad thing, you're forgiving it. Or maybe you're forgiving somebody who has, woken up or like planted this conflicting energy inside of you. But like instead of fighting things through, you're letting it go by forgiving. you know um you're letting it go by forgiving it rather than fighting it. You did something wrong to me and I'm forgiving you for it. I don't want to hold it on. I don't want to carry it forward into my future life. So I'm forgiving you for it. If it's a past relationship, if it's a past person, somebody who's hurt you, even if it's like just your past that you feel like may come back and haunt you or something, instead of holding it as like something bad or like some baggage or something, you're forgiving it, you're letting it go. And I think that's a very noble way of dealing with things. And that just reiterates the fact that I think that inherently you guys are like very peaceful people. You just like peace of mind and you like your peaceful way of existing and doing things and being harmonious and being happy and being fulfilled. Anyway, now let's move on to your tarot cards about what your purpose is. I think it's pretty clear here itself, but let's move on to the second part of this reading. So we have the Ace of Cups. We have the King of Pentacles. We have, okay, the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. And we have the King of Swords. Okay. A lot of code cards. Actually, all of them are code cards, not a lot of code cards. All of these are code cards, in fact, which leads me to think that you guys are probably already at a pretty high level regarding maybe your lifestyle or your finances, which is why like that's why I got the inkling at the beginning of this reading that maybe you guys are not so career driven or like crazy after money or like moving to like a different phase of your life like it's happened with pile 1, 2 and 3. Like they definitely, with them I got the feeling that they had to leave something behind and make that effort in making their life better. But in your case, I feel like to a certain extent your life is pretty good. I don't want to sound proud or presumptuous in any way, but maybe you guys are a little more privileged than the other previous piles in terms of like your money and finances. Maybe you achieved success early on in life and it's helped you, or maybe like you came from like wealth, or like your parents or something had money and maybe you had a trust fund or something. But I just don't see like like you being overly ambitious or like earning money or moving out of a situation or something is like coming to mind. I feel like that's why you guys are chasing like fulfillment or completion, or like just feeling good from within. Y'all are, instead of chasing like money or a circumstance, y'all are chasing after an emotion or chasing after a state of mind to feel in a certain way. And that's what I'm getting from the Ace of Cups. I'm also getting it from the Queen of Pentacles, especially when it comes to family life. But having said that, it doesn't mean that you guys don't take the effort that needs to be taken, because like I said before, you don't mind working hard to create this feeling, to feel this way, even if it means putting that effort. Like with the Ten of Swords, you don't mind taking on so much responsibility in order to have a happy family life that by the end of the day you're like dead. Like for example, supposing your dream is to have like 5 kids, and then one of those kids grows up and gets married, and then they have like grandkids, like they have kids and then you have grandkids. In order to make sure everybody's happy, you don't mind cooking the Christmas dinner, you don't mind decorating the house, you don't mind making sure everybody's bedroom is immaculate and clean. You don't mind doing all that effort. You don't mind going grocery shopping for like so many people in your family. You, your spouse, your 5 kids. Okay, that's 7. 3 grandkids, like 10 people. You don't mind cooking for so many people every day or at least on holidays and stuff. As long as like your family's happy, everybody's together, everybody's smiling, everybody's having a good time. So even if it means taking on so much responsibility, doing the work yourself, you don't mind doing that in order to feel this sense of fulfillment. And the Ace of Cups is like feeling complete fulfillment, like an overflow or outpour of emotions, feeling that happiness and that joy. And it's so immense that it doesn't even fit in this cup. In the traditional tarot, you see like these, oh, you see these, oh, I forgot the word, but like there's these outpours of water or like creativity or love that comes out of the cup, because it's so much that the cup is not enough to like hold it and sustain it. That's how you want to feel an overflow of emotions, happiness, sad, but everything in between, and feel things for feeling, not necessarily act upon it or anything, but just have the chance to feel all of that. And I honestly feel that your urgency or your need to feel that way is because you've probably not gotten to feel that way before ever. Maybe you've seen other people with happy families and a good life, and you've been deprived it or denied it, or maybe your past relationship or something, broke that. Maybe you were an optimistic person starting out that, I'm going to have this great family life, I'm going to be like so happy, I'm going to be a great mom, or I'm going to be a great dad. And then your other spouse, you know, instead of making you feel fulfilled, maybe they made you feel incomplete. Maybe they ran you down. They didn't want to start a family. That's why all the conflict and all the anger. And it's like, everything you thought you would have is what they denied you, is what you didn't end up having with them. And it broke your heart, it broke your feelings, and that's why you wanted to end that. That's why you so badly wanted that to end. And moving on and finding another partner and finding that happiness is of such immense importance to you, because that is what you wanted. You didn't want to marry for money, you didn't want to marry for status, you wanted to marry for stability, for a happy family life or something. And that's what you want to feel, that fulfillment, that happiness, that pure feeling of joy and completion, and so much that it overflows. And the thing about Ace of Cups and Ten of Cups is that they're similar in a way that you feel so much of it that you don't have a want for anything more. You're like, I have everything I want right here with me. That's why you're so fulfilled. And here it's like so much more than you expected. So I really feel your purpose in life is to really like have a good family, have kids, have a good husband, and like have everything proper, because the King of Pentacles basically means like having the good business, having the good money, having a very good system of income. Like, the thing about Pentacles is that it takes time, money and effort to achieve this, but once it starts to flow in, it flows in so well that not only will it be able to sustain you, but even your kids or maybe your kids. It's like being on top of the food chain, like being the CEO, being somebody who employs other people, starting a business, starting a legacy that lives on and has a very good income. So like this is like a jackpot card to get when it comes to like money and finances. So I feel like you're somebody who wants everything proper and you don't mind taking the effort and making that happen. You honestly don't mind embracing all the responsibility that needs to be embraced. And doing the work, putting your head to the ground and doing the work yourself if it comes to that, but having things proper. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, this is like domestic goddess, having the good house, having the good family, having the good health, having the good food, having like the good holidays, having your kids in good schools, having good clothes, having good celebrations. Like in every house, there's like that one family where everything is like proper. Both their kids studied abroad, both their kids got married at the right age to right people. Both of them are working at good companies, bringing in a good income, having their own individual lives, traveling at least once or twice a year with their spouse, taking nice pictures, spouse giving birth to cute babies, and like they too living well, meeting one kid this year, meeting the other kid next year, going and meeting their grandchildren, calling the kids over, when the kids coming over, having a welcome home party, having the celebrations. Like there's always that one family where everything is proper. So that is something you want. That is something you desperately want to be. And that is your purpose, to like have a good proper family and have a good life. And like with the king and queen, I feel like feeling like the king and queen, so like having a good spouse also, like finding the right spouse. Like if you're the king, then you want the queen, who is the domestic goddess, who will take good care of your family, who will provide you with that good support and status as a wife. Or like if you're calling your colleagues over for dinner, they'll make that good meal, they'll go all out, they'll be grand, they'll be good, you know. And if you're like the woman, then it's like you finding your king, who like takes the effort, works hard for the family, does well with the kids, treats the kids well, you know, gives them the good education, gives them that good upbringing, treats you well, treats you like a queen, gives you, I wouldn't say unlimited money, but whatever you require to meet your needs and all of that and more. So like, you know, you can even do your charities, and you can make everybody comfortable with your materialistic and comfort uh, goods, like, you know, not having a lack of anything. Like that family I spoke about, there is such a family in my family. Like one of my dad's brothers, they have everything proper and perfect. And whenever you go to their house, they have like an 8-course meal, and everything is so proper. And it's like, you know, back in the day, if I needed something and if my own dad wouldn't get it for me, they would get it for me or something like that. So wanting everybody to be happy and comfortable and perfect and stuff. You know, being close with their nieces and nephews, you know, talking to everybody, being happy. But basically being, and like this family has like the highest social status as well. You know, they are very well known in society, they have a good name, they have a good life. So like being on top of the food chain, like being the king and the queen and having it all perfect and planned out and basically living that. And the king of swords is somebody who takes on tremendous responsibility. They know the impact they have on the world, and they know what their role is. So this also makes me think that you're very self-aware, and just because you have all of this doesn't mean you're somebody who takes it for granted ever. Ever. You know the price at which it has come, and especially if it's come to you after a certain adversity or after a certain upheaval, then you know you value it more, and you're never going to take it for granted. If that means like taking effort on your part every day, waking up early, working hard in order to maintain this happiness, in order to maintain this happy family, then be it so. You don't mind doing it, but you know that your thoughts, the way you function has tremendous responsibility on the world, and you're somebody who takes a lot of responsibility. So not taking anything for granted ever, being very loving your family, being very grateful for what you got, you know, and helping to solve issues with ease and calmness and comfort. Like, you know, if like supposing there's a problem, somebody's fallen sick in your family, instead of panicking and getting scared, being that person other people can count upon, and handling the situation with care and intelligence and peace and quiet and calmness, you know, everything can be managed, everything can be handled, and yes, you can count upon me. That kind of a feeling I'm getting, and I think that is your life purpose. That is what you want in your life. That is the person you want to grow into or become, if you are not already on the route to it. But yeah, that is what I see. Now we'll just look at these cards that should just give us any certain landmarks or milestones about your life purpose. So we have gateway, and we have embracing. So I feel like with gateway and like the fact that it's in this, I feel like I said, something has to end before something new starts. So I feel like for you, passing through this gateway into a new beginning is very important, and it's something that is imperative, something that's gonna transform your life. Like once you finish this and you let this go and you end this chapter and you walk into this new gateway and you enter this new phase of your life, it's gonna feel like a brand new start. It's gonna feel like a really beautiful, happy beginning. And if you see, this unicorn is jumping away from these mountains, and mountains usually denote or mean like upheaval and hardships. So like getting out of this hard phase and moving towards something that is much happier and beautiful and fulfilling. And the thing is, this unicorn is a mystical being. They're fictitious. That's how you pronounce it. So it's like, maybe for some of you guys this could be like a pipe dream, or like, I never thought I would have this, but it's a very good reality and it's a very good possibility for you. Having all of this, in case you don't already have it or you're not on the road towards achieving it. But it may seem like a faraway dream or an impossibility, but the minute you're done with this and you come to this, you cross this gateway and you come to this, and you find your alignment with that peace, it's gonna happen. Nothing is impossible. And then we have embracing, which means, like I said before, you guys are not somebody who gets daunted by responsibility or daunted by whatever lies ahead. You guys embrace it. Like even with forgiving, instead of fighting things through, like I said, you guys are inherently peaceful people. And rather than fighting things or not taking responsibility, you'll just say, you know what, I'll embrace it. I'll take it on. I'll do it. I'll do it to the best of my ability. If I have to work hard at keeping my family happy, be it so. If I have to sacrifice a lot of things right now in order to like make a good family life, be it so. So instead of fighting things, you're embracing it. You're forgiving it. And the thing is, we have like forgiving, which is like the moon and the sun, which means like this is something you practice day and night, not just like for 5 minutes every day, but like all the time. And with embracing, if you see, like it's this peaceful night and then there's this crane or pelican or whatever it is, and then there are these shards and dots of these like golden specks. So it's like, it gives me a very peaceful feeling. You're at peace embracing rather than fighting. Taking on the responsibility feels more peaceful than, feeling daunted by it, which is a chaotic energy. Like, oh my God, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? Oh my God, how? How will I do so much in one day? Instead of doing that, you're just like, yeah, okay, I'll tackle it as I can. I'll do it the best of my ability. And accepting it and embracing it is giving you so much more peace than fighting it. And like, it's such a beautiful picture. So it's like, it feels beautiful inside, like it feels scenic. It feels at peace, I also feel like maybe for many of you, social statuses are very important and you will achieve it. Like you will be high ranking in society, like this one family I spoke about. But yeah, with this I feel optics is also important for you. So like a nice house, a good looking house, not just like happy inside, but it will be, but also like how your house physically looks, like the walls, the windows and all of that. And how your family looks from the external point of view. So I feel like optics is of importance to you, but like you want to feel good internally, but also, and because you're feeling good internally, it's easy for you to project that picture externally. Like you don't have to take that extra effort to look good in front of others. Your family is anyway good. You guys are happy. You guys are doing financially well. You guys have a nice life, a nice house. Your kids are in good schools and doing well and putting effort. So you don't have to like take so much effort. People behind your back are talking or speaking highly of you. And yeah, that's what I see. And then We have spirituality with 77. Again, a repeating number. So your angels are watching down on you. Your angels are with you because so many angel numbers. And if like 4, 44 or 10s or 7s get repeated, which means like your gateway or your wish is close by, or your purpose, or like whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, it's very close by. And the next one we have is effort with number 13. So 1 plus 3 adds up to 4 again, which is stability. So you don't mind taking that effort to achieve this level of stability, to achieve this security, to achieve this assurance and reassurance and certainty in your life. You absolutely don't mind taking the effort. 1 is the number of new beginnings, which is like the gateway. So the minute you pass this gateway and you enter this new phase, it'll feel like a fresh start. And 3, instead of 2, you are jumping directly to 3. So your expansion, like if when you meet your person till when you guys get married and have kids, it'll be like quick and it'll be smooth and it'll be seamless. And a lot of it would be because of your own personal effort. And yeah, spirituality, I think this just means that you guys will be very spiritually connected, high up with your spiritualness. And I guess that goes with this because like look at his hands. He's joined both his hands while sleeping. So it feels like even in his sleep he's praying. So you guys may become very spiritually advanced, especially at night while you sleep, while you pray. Like this one lady I spoke about, like this family, the lady in that family is very spiritually connected. She's spiritually aligned. So spirituality, I think, will become an important factor for you moving forward, especially if you're looking to find this peace and ease out this anger or this pent up energy in you that came from your past. But basically, pile 4, those are all the messages I have for you. I hope it gave you a good idea on like what your life purpose is, what your energies are, and I hope it gave you clarity and reassurance on that. And if it did do any of the above, please do consider giving this video a big thumbs up, sharing it with those who you think it will help, commenting with what resonated, what didn't, because that would help me learn, and finally subscribing to my channel because that would really help me. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.